Yo, ladies and gents, welcome back. Episode 82. Your boys are in the house, Victorious, Javier, and of course, we got a special guest with us, Jillian Robar. Jill, fellow Riv alum in the house, going to talk about sports. Let's go, Jill. How have you been?
Oh, great. Thanks for having me. So excited to be here.
Yes.
Awesome.
Welcome.
Been a
Welcome,
while.
Jill.
Yeah, no, it's going to be awesome to catch up. I know we're going to talk about, we went before we went hot, we went over a couple things. We're going to talk about the marathon, some Bruins, some Celtics playoffs, get into a little bit of that. And, just talk about, the Women's World Cup that we got coming up this year, 2023. I actually had to do a little homework on that. So I brushed up on that as well. So
where's that? Australia and New Zealand?
Yep.
Love it. So we're gonna catch up with all that. We'll catch up with so much in the sports world that we can't even talk about. I don't even want to
Life in general.
Life is going on. We took a couple weeks off, but the Riv Pod is back. It's 4/20/2023, April 20th. So we're in the house. Special day, of course. Stoners Unite. We're here.
I'm a Roman fan. He said, "I see you."
Yeah, he did it. It's unbelievable. That was a funny clip for those who are out there. But yeah, we're here. It's awesome to have Jill on. It's awesome. Again, Victorious in the house up in New Hampshire.
Let's get it.
I'm over here in Haverhill. Jill's in Beverly. So, we got a little Massachusetts connection going on. We're just going to get into it, man. We talked a little bit about some of the overlapping people that we knew, like Clint, like Kyle, some of those cats. So shout out to those guys. Riv Alumni Weekend, Volleyball Alumni Weekend. It's going on this weekend up in Nashua. So there's so much in the universe going on, so much, swirling around. But I don't know what you guys want to get into first. Victorious, what you got cracking? I know you got the soccer emails coming in from the Londonderry, youth organization.
What is going on here? Just too much drama. Saturday again, no coaches, no season. Hey, this is what I get. Like season's canceled. Like your kid's not gonna be able to I'm like, what is going on?
Hey, 2 hours later, you get an email like, oh, season's on.
Season's on. So now it's like, what? Did we just get bullied into this? And now I'm coach and I got an assistant. Anyways, we'll get into it, man.
We'll get into it all. The marathon just happened. Let's get into that first. Let's get into even before the marathon. Yeah. Let's get into catch up with you a little bit, Jill. Catch up with what's going on in your life, how Beverly's treating you. I know you got some travels going on this weekend we just talked about. So yeah, let's kick it off, man. Let's do it. Riv Pod episode 82. Let's go. We're gonna kick it off.
Love it. 82. Let's do it. Yeah. So it's tough. How do you recap 12 years of your life? But yeah. So I work as a nurse. I work at Boston Medical Center. I've been there for about 6 years now. And my official snazzy title is I'm a nursing professional development specialist, but really it's just a fancy word for
when they throw specialist, it's always you feel just an extra
right. It's
pressure.
I got the lab coat and everything. It's very I'm don't let the coat fool you. I'm still just regular Jill.
Well, Jill, I got to interject real quick. I got to give you a shout out for the gear.
Check out my gear, everyone. Found it. Old school.
We got to shout out the gear. Of course.
Proven.
But I had to, I was going to say.
College students, Ivan University, right?
Exactly. Show them.
Before we get in, any further, let's throw that up real
quick.
Right,
just going to appreciate the swag.
Facts.
But yeah, I love the title. So you're really doing it. And you work in Boston? You work in the city?
Yep. So I work at Boston Medical Center. And awesome. So basically my title is just I'm a clinical educator for the staff nurses. So I'm basically the nurse teacher for the nurses at the bedside. So when they have questions, they'll page me, they'll call me. I write curriculums, I teach classes, I help onboard new nurses that come into the organization. It's a really great place to work. I love working there. So
Awesome. That's you're making Riv proud right now. I mean, that might have just been a little advert right there for Riviere. It's good for you.
Love it.
I mean, you in there every day? You have to go to the office, obviously. You're
so it's a little, with the titles comes a little more flexibility in your schedule. So I don't have to work weekends anymore. I work 4 days a week and it's pretty flexible, just depending on what I got going on.
Nice.
So that's nice. And it's actually helpful because I'm crazy and I'm actually back in school for the third time and I'm working on getting my doctorate. So
go get it, Jill. Go get
I
it.
know, I'll be Dr. Jill in a few more months here.
Go get
Love
it, girl.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
Wow, what an accomplishment. Definitely. I mean, keep us posted on that for sure.
Please.
Keep us posted on that.
I will. I'm like counting down the days.
Be in the background like, yo, let's go.
Right? I know. It'll be good. I'm excited for when that's done.
Awesome.
Cool, Jill.
What else you got cooking? I mean, you talked about your traveling this week, and I know you do some traveling. I don't know if, you know how quick we want to get into the sports stuff. I know you're you got some fun facts on the marathon and some other stuff. So I mean, it's all
Jill's like
now.
Carmen Sandiego. Like where is she
I
at?
was
Like, you
just
know,
gonna say, like that's what
girl's
really
always
people call me, like
traveling.
Carmen Sandiego. Like, where do you want to go? I know. Well, it's like, you know, what else? I like to travel. Like, it's fun to have those like experiences and just like, you know, see other people's cultures and like what they're doing. And like, that's come to a screeching halt since I've been back in school. Because that's literally all I do. I just go to work and I do homework. It's like really kind of sad, but grinding it out. And then come January of next year, I'll be back on the Carmen Sandiego status. But
let's go.
Yeah, I think, I don't even know, like the coolest places I think I've gone. I've been to Dubai a couple times. India was like really a great experience. South America, went to Costa Rica, European countries. Just I'll go anywhere.
That's awesome.
Like for any reason. I'm like, oh, sure, I'll go.
I'm like such a Sally. I'm like the opposite. I'm like, man, I don't want to say I'm like not a traveler, but I'm like, it takes, you know, I'm like, I need it all like set up perfectly, basically. I'm sure like Jill, like you've had to rough it, like layovers, like things don't always go when you're traveling, like things definitely don't go your way. So it's like, I'm like such a, you know, crybaby, like self-admitted, you know, like I'm like, I need like things that,
hey fam, at least you can admit it.
You know, come on, I have a little self-awareness at least, but no, that's awesome to hear. I would never even think about going to Dubai. How was Dubai? I got to ask about that.
Oh yeah, 100%. So the way I describe Dubai is like, it's just extra. Mm-hmm. It's just extra. Everything there is just like so unnecessary. But it's beautiful. Like it's super clean. It's super safe. You know, it's like westernized. So it's not like you have to like cover up, like you can wear shorts and tank tops and stuff like as a woman there. Mm-hmm. There aren't really like the culture is obviously different. It's a Muslim country, even though there's like a lot of people around. So it's not like, hey, let's go to the bar. Like bars don't exist like that in Dubai. You have to like find certain restaurants that will serve alcohol and things like that. So that's like something a little bit different.
Show me the hookah bar. That's right.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's like hookah. That's like the big thing. So like definitely like hookah bars everywhere. But yeah, like everything is just like extra. Like what you see on like, you know, like
over the top. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like Lamborghini police cars and things like that. But there's like regular stuff too. Like it's not all pomp and circumstance, you know, by any means. But
have you been to like any sporting events abroad or any like, you know?
Yo, fam, you stole my question, dog. You stole my question, dog.
That's a great question.
You stole my question. Like sporting events in different countries.
I'm always thinking like personally, selfishly, like, I need to get to watch a Premier game.
Fam, I should have took that traveling voucher. We should have went to like Ukraine, like maybe not Ukraine, maybe like somewhere else. But
I know. Yeah, I wish I like can say that I have, but I haven't. I feel like when I'm traveling places, I'm like, oh my god, have I? But I haven't. But I'm super jealous of my brother because he just went to Switzerland and France, and he got to see Messi and what's his name? Mbappe? What's his name?
Yeah.
Play each other. I'm like, I was so jealous. It's like, oh man. He said it was like incredible.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Fam, I didn't know you had questions. I didn't know you have questions written down, Victorious. I love
that. Well, fam, come on now. I'm a professional here. You know what I'm saying?
This ain't a hobby, guys. Let's go.
Professional here.
Unbelievable. Yeah, the traveling stuff is awesome. I got to get more into it for sure. I know, Victorious, you just went into, you know, the Texas down there in Austin. I got Austin. I'm heading.
It's like super bumping. Like that's all like people are talking. Like, oh, you're going to like the hottest spot. And honestly, we only had like 2 days to explore it. I could go on, but like. Yeah, I wanted more. Yeah, it's good for sure. But sometimes I feel like that's good. It's like to want more because for sure.
Like, I've been
now I got the itch. Now I got the itch. Joe was just talking about it. I was like, I need to get out there. I need to get out
Vegas a few times where I'm like, yeah, I got to get the hell out of here. You know, like Vegas is like, you know, bad news. So sometimes it's good to, you know, always be wanting a little bit more. That's awesome.
Had our Vegas trip literally canceled smack in the middle of COVID. We had done it December. We were going to a Jonas Brothers concert and I was going to go gambling. That's literally what was the plan. And then, Yeah, nah, it was like literally. I was like, "Nah, we're still going." They were like, "Nah, everything's shut down. Like,
You're like,
stay
it's a
home."
hard stop. Do not pass.
Literally, I was like, "Here we are. All right." So,
All right.
Yeah.
anyways,
Any other travel? I was gonna say any other travel stories? Any other cool place? Any place you haven't been to that you'd like to get to?
Like everywhere that I
Still
haven't
want to
been.
go?
I'm like dying to go to Africa.
Nice. Anywhere in particular?
Like
No, I
west,
want to go on like
east, like
safari. I want to go on a
Yeah.
safari. I want to see some animals.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna go central
Like
then.
the
Yeah,
Democratic Republic of the
maybe
Congo,
like
like one of those.
Kenya
Yeah. Awesome.
or
Yeah, I
something
bet
like that.
this man. I was like, there's always like those big game hunters out there, like those crazy. I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I can get out there.
You
You
do
know.
that in Texas. Have you seen
Ace
that?
Ventura.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Love me
I
some
went to.
Ace Ventura. There's places like in Texas, it's like super controversial where it's like they ship in like these big game animals from Africa to Texas, and you can pay to like go hunt whatever tigers and
I think
lions.
that's where
And
Victoria's just went.
Fam, literally, yo, some of
No.
these girls that we were talking to, the way they were
Come
talking
on
about
now.
catfish and like
I'll just
talking
put two
about
and
like
two
toast.
together.
I was like, hey, listen, all right, that's how y'all doing out here. Can't wait to get back home.
Unbelievable. I love the travel stories. I know I got to get out there more. I was just saying I'm getting out to Colorado for a wedding later on this year, so I'll be doing that. But yeah, I keep it pretty. Oh, we're going to Disney as well. We go to Florida, right? Jill, you mentioned you're going to Florida. Florida, I feel like for everyone who lives up here in New England, is like just like an
it's
automatic.
easy.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like it doesn't. I don't want to say it doesn't count, but it's like it's Florida.
Convenient. It's convenient, is what
I
it
don't
is.
realize how many times I've been out there. I was like, I've actually been there more than I think.
Awesome. So, for those listening too, like we said, Jill gets in there with the sports too. She's played not volleyball, softball and soccer. She already showed off the gear, but she's a softball player too. So she's in there, gets in the nitty gritty. And she wanted to talk about the marathon, which I love, which I'm not like I talked about. I'm not versed on. I know it's like the 127th, things like that, just general stuff, but. Let's get into a little bit of marathon talk. Have you ever run cross country or ran a marathon, guys? Like any half marathon? Like
4th, 5th grade, realized like, yo, this is not for me type stuff. Like always realize, yeah, like that's what
I need the 0.0 sticker on on my car. I need one of those.
I can't I don't know. I can't stand those stickers for it's like, I appreciate all the hard work that like goes into it. It's like the same thing when people are like do keto or like do CrossFit or they're like into jujitsu and like that's all they talk about. It's like it's like I see that sticker and I just like cringe. I'm like, oh no.
I ran for Riv cross country for the cross country my freshman year. It was out in Western New England. I wasn't on the cross country team, but like they needed one extra person or something to like just for like the conference meet or something. And my coach was like, hey, my coach Kolick was like, yo, what's going on? And like I got banged up the night before. Went out the next day, ran 5 miles, 35 minutes.
Okay.
I'm still taking it to this day. You can check it. I think you can Google it's out there. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it at all. I hate running right now. I know it's like bad for your knees too. I don't. That might be like the 39 to 40-year-old to be Javier talking. Jill, enlighten us, please. Like, give us some, give us that intel on the marathon. Like, it was, it's always, Marathon Monday. It's always, Patriots Day. It's always a scene, right?
It is. So, like, if anybody listening has never been, that's like from Massachusetts, New England, has never been to Boston on Marathon Monday, it's like a do not skip. Like, you got to go. Just the energy in that city. And, like, especially this past Monday, because it's like the Sox always play on Marathon Monday. So like it's fun. So you can catch some of the marathon, go to the Sox game, but then the Bruins were also playing on Monday. Yep. So it was just like chaos in like the best possible way. But yeah, I just thought it'd be cool to like talk about the marathon because and like appreciate these athletes and like what these athletes actually do when they like run the marathon.
It's real.
Right?
Yeah, it's legit.
It's like insane.
It's like one of the oldest forms too, right? It's like, it goes pretty far back.
Yeah, so that's like what I wanted to talk about, like my fun fact. So I was like, I remember like learning in school about like the Battle of Marathon. Like, does that sound like vaguely familiar? So I was like, let me just like relook that up. And basically, like Persia was trying to invade Greece in like 1490, or not, excuse me, not that, 490 BC. And the Greek were outnumbered like 1 to 10. There was like 10,000 people in Greece, and there's like 100,000 people from Persia. And somehow the Greek warriors were able to like fend them off and they won. And this one particular guy had to run from Marathon back to Athens to like tell everyone like, oh my God, like we just won this battle. And then once he gets there, he says it and then he drops dead.
Unbelievable.
So it's like, no one really knows if that's like officially true or not. But that's kind of like where that comes from. But what's interesting is like the distance from Marathon to Athens is only 40 kilometers, which is only 25 miles.
I was about to ask, like, how?
Yeah, so it's like,
what's that distance? Like,
yeah, so this is where it comes.
That's
this is where
wild.
it comes to play. So it's about 20. That's 25 miles. So, what year was it? 1896. The Greece was hosting the Olympics, and they decided we want to pay tribute to this man that like ran. This was going to be the first like organized marathon that ever happened. And so fast forward a couple more Olympics, it's being held in London in 1906, I believe. And Queen Alexandra was leading at the time. And she's like, well, actually, I'd like the marathon to start at Windsor Castle so the children in the nursery, you know, can watch it start. And so, and then she's like, I want it to end at the Olympic Stadium in front of the Royals box. So if you actually calculate that distance from Windsor Castle to where it was, it's 26.2 miles.
Crazy.
So it's really, you know, it's been like, after that, it was like not really regulated. And then sometime like in the 1920s, they like, all right, we're going to stick with 26.2. So that's why it's because of like some British monarch.
Yeah,
love it. Like, no, that's great history right there.
Well, I like that. It started like way back as something, and then like, yeah, just completely like morphed into something else. Like, I don't know, like 100 some, you know, not too long ago.
Right. So that's like the exciting thing, right? So that was like the first organized marathon that like ever happened. And then the very next year was the first year that Boston started the marathon. So ever since like organized marathons have been a thing, Boston has had one. It's the world's longest annual race.
Love it.
And it started in Ashland initially, and then it transferred now to Hopkinton. It's funny because my wife's like family initially, they were like father from like Ashland. It's like you know, it started there. I was like, no it didn't. Like Hopkinton. Like one of them. And then Monday yeah, it literally was. And then Monday we were
this guy.
We actually watched the marathon, at least all like kind of the build up and the initial start of it. So I'm kind of tapped into like some of the races, you know, who was there. But yeah, no, just the whole marathon in general. Just
were you able to watch it, Jill?
I had to work, like the down perks of like working in healthcare, right? It's like 24/7, 365. But I was streaming the whole time in my office. Of course.
Like, have you ever been like, I've never been in there for like a Marathon Monday for like a Patriots.
Highly recommend.
I've never.
Yeah, I want to try it, honestly.
I know a whole bunch of my buddies have. You know, it's like, you know, like you said, I've heard like nothing but great things. It's like, I don't know, like a Super Bowl, you know, parade, one of those. Like, it's almost just like, and it goes on and on.
But it's like different, it's like better. Like everyone, like even like, because I take the train into the city from Beverly, so I have to like get on the Orange Line, and it's like, you know, I'm there at like 6 a.m. already.
I know the Orange Line.
Oh yeah, I love the Orange Line, and it's like, but like everyone's like has their bibs, and it's all exciting, and you like cheer them on, like even before they're like getting ready to run. Like I don't know, just like the vibe and the energy. It's just like all positive and good. So
I definitely bought into it as I was watching it on Monday, and I kept just saying to myself, you know, where my son before he went to school, because we're up in New Hampshire, so they don't celebrate Patriots Day. So we started off early, but yeah, I was just like, wow, I would like to actually get in there and see.
Yeah, get in there for sure.
And just feel it, because I was feeling it through the TV. And then they're talking about, you know, the like the greatest runner of all time.
Yeah, let's talk about him.
Yeah, we can talk about it right now. It's crazy, but like I just again, well, I would like get in.
I saw real quick too. I didn't watch any of it, and when Jill want to get into it a little bit more, and then get into the other stuff. But I saw the women's winner was like, that's just like her second marathon that she ran or whatever.
Yeah,
she's
right,
like,
exactly. So like this woman, so she's like a track athlete. She's won like titles for like indoor and some other outdoor events, but never a marathon. It's only her second marathon. The first one she ran was last year, New York City Marathon. She got like 6th. And then she wasn't even going to run this one. And her coach is like, just do it. And then she wins it. Like, are you kidding me? Like, what kind of athlete just like pulls out the Boston Marathon, like just on a whim? That's like insane.
Straight up.
Right.
What else? What else? I was going to say, what else we got cooking with the marathon, Jill?
Yeah. Anything so that's what I was going to say. What makes it interesting is like talking about the men's side. So this guy, Kipchoge, like what a name, first of all. So fun to say. He's like the GOAT of marathon runners. Like he is it. He's the only runner to ever run a marathon under 2 hours. But there's like an asterisk to that because like some UK company like made the paid infinite whatever amount of money to make sure that he could do it, and it's like they picked a flat course that was at sea level and they had people like breaking the wind for him. It was like very controlled conditions.
Not in Boston.
No, definitely not. And
not
so
in Boston.
If you were like listening to the commentators, like they were thirsty for this guy. They're like, Kipchoge's the best.
They
like,
were.
Oh my God. They were like, it was bad. They're like, he's going to win. This is his race. Like, he's going to dictate it. No. And he just got
ESPN
smoked.
And LeBron, yeah.
Yeah, like he just got smoked on the Newton Hills, and he ended up getting 6th. Yeah. And it was his slowest marathon he's ever run. But it's interesting. But even just like to put it into perspective, right? To run like a marathon in 2 hours is like absurd. So most people that don't like run, have never ran track, they can understand like a quarter of a mile, 1 lap around a track. Guess how many laps a marathon is?
Let's see.
108?
Yeah.
I was going to say.
Wow, that's actually a really good guess. 105.
110? Yeah.
Damn.
105. So it's like, us average, athletes, used to be an athlete. If we tried to sprint our very hardest to do 1 lap around a track, we could probably do it in like 60 to 90 seconds, maybe, probably more. Right. And that guy is maintaining that pace for 105 times. Like that just blows my mind.
I'm puking.
Like not even a question. I'm puking after 2. Like I like can't run anymore.
That's unbelievable. That's a great fact. I did see it was a repeat winner too, right? The guy who won.
Yeah. So the guy that won, I think it's Evans was his name. Yep. So he won last year. So he could go for a 3-peat next year. There's only one other runner that's been able to do that.
Yeah, I heard this guy lost it right at the hills, like the Heartbreak Hill. It's like it was.
Yeah, they always call it the Heartbreak Hill. It's like I don't know. It's so inspiring, and like every single year, it's like, oh my God, like maybe I'll want to run a marathon, and then it's like, no, absolutely not.
I saw like a small hill, and I was like, hell no, and then they're like, this hill. I'm like, nah.
No way. One year, my friends got me to sign up for like they do like a medley, so it's like through the same organization, you do a 5K, a 10K, and a half. And so like I did the 5K, like no problem. I did the 10K, didn't train, died. And I was like, there's no way you're going to pay me enough money to do this half. I was like, I'm out. I was like, I shouldn't have done the 10. It was like,
so smart. So smart.
Yeah.
You know why? Yep. Because like I would have been the bonehead who would have done that and then would have finished with like my hip hurting, my feet like bleeding, one of those.
Kulik always asks me on Thanksgiving. I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to die at Thanksgiving, bro. I'm trying to like make it to the turkey, my guy.
Right, like priorities.
Facts.
Unbelievable. All right, we'll give you the last 30 seconds, Jill, on the marathon. If there's anything you want to,
just like the spirit of it, right? So it's 10 years since the bombing, so it's like lots of specialties, but just like the organizations that run in it and the people that run in it. Like, did you guys see like the dog that passed away? That's always at like a certain mile marker. So then all these like golden retrievers came to the common to like pay tribute to them. You had, Chara from the Bruins who ran it. You had an old Revs player.
Kevin Tierney.
Yeah, Tierney ran in it. Like you had this woman who was like in her 70s, like set a record for like, her 30-something marathon in a row. Just like all the other like inspiring stories that like you hear. It's just like a really cool race. I don't know.
Honestly, and even the folks who were like in the wheelchairs and just the like seeing that is pretty remarkable. Just the strength, like even going up the hills, I was like, wow.
Yeah. Well, that person. So in the men's for the wheelchair division, he set a new course record.
Yo, the Silver Bullet. This guy is like
the Silver Bullet. This guy's insane.
This guy is
Hugh is his name.
Yeah, this guy is
Marcel Hugh.
Yeah. Wow, man. Yeah, it's like you said, Jill. It's like so many good stories, so many good foundations. It's the vibe, the energy, man. All positive. I love that, man. What else? I'm just trying to think. We could probably like keep going on and on about the marathon too.
I know we can cut it there, but I thought it was important to talk about because it is.
No, it is. No. We'd be remiss to not talk about
This is our area.
This is
right.
This is for sure. It's that's what we talk about. This is we keep the pod pretty local, but yeah, no, that's for sure. A lot of awesome stuff, Jill. let's do this. Let's get into some, I don't know, some of the playoff talk. You talked a little bit about the Bruins.
Playoffs.
Just on that Marathon Monday day. What can we talk about? I know they hit a little snag with the loss yesterday.
A little snafu there yesterday.
Celts are doing their thing. Like I'm looking ahead to the next series for the Celts. So
I agree.
Yeah.
Let's get into some of the Bruins talk. I mean, we talked a little bit about the Bruins, Jill. I don't know how much you follow. I've never been to a Bruins game. A game I've always wanted.
Listen, we got to get you on a trip. We got to get you to the marathon. We got to get you to a Bruins game. Let's get this list going. Like, what are we doing?
Let's go. Build it up.
We're pull the trigger here.
I know. Believe me, I've been to a bunch of Dave Matthews Band. All right, we won't even.
I love concerts too. I'm all for that. But we got to get you some more.
Let's get into some Bruins. I mean, Bergeron's hurt. I feel like the vibe is like,
wow, he's
weird.
Hurt.
Yeah,
he was like hurt, but then like sick, and now I think he's just hurt.
Yes, he was sick, and then it was like both, and then now I think he's just.
No, he's just one, but I don't remember.
I was gonna joke and say I thought hockey guys were tough, but I'm not gonna.
It was tough.
But yeah,
I'm busted.
Just with them winning like the regular season, like the way that they did, in like super, unbelievable fashion. And I was like, those teams. I looked up like the other teams that broke records before them, which some were like maybe a couple 15, 20 years ago within. Yeah, they didn't do well in the postseason. Like,
well, that's what I was just gonna say. It was like it makes me nervous because typically, like in any sport, right? Like, dare I say, the Patriots when we were undefeated.
Yeah, same thing.
Like, I don't want to bring it up. I don't want to bring it up. But it's like, can they maintain this? Like,
elite,
that's really hard to do. So it makes me nervous. And now watching these first two games, I'm like, like what's gonna happen here?
Yeah, because the first one was close too.
First one was close too, and it's like they got the win, but it was not their level of play.
Yeah, they left questioning like, whoa.
Yeah, like the goalies like on both sides like had excellent games, and like that's kind of like what kept it in, and they eventually like turned it on at the end, but like they're like average, like we can do better. So then you think game 2 they're going to come out like guns a-blazing, and then it's like first quarter or first period like snooze fest, and then it's like second period like all the action happens, and then the third like I don't know what the heck happened there. It was just it was bad.
I heard it was the turnover. They just kept turning the ball over like the center of the ice. Again, I don't want to speak like too off key, but from what I read, it was just like a disaster, just like an implosion. Similar to my freaking soccer team, Manchester United today, who imploded as well. Not to get off on that, but it's like these teams just doing the most sometimes. Just like do less.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like the Panthers like obviously like made some adjustments like they knew, and actually the Panthers beat them in the regular season 5-2 like back in November-ish. So it's like, when you go into a playoff series like that, like you have this attitude like we've done it, we can do it again, so they're making a big deal about it. So, my hope is that they can get their act together for tomorrow night, and like I think their best bet is they're going to split again in Florida.
So, Florida, what city are they playing in? Do we know what city is
Honestly,
Florida?
I don't.
I was just curious.
I should know that.
Fort Lauderdale area.
They're just like the Panthers. That's all I know.
Yeah,
right.
I think they play like the Fort Lauderdale area. I'm just thinking though, like I don't literally. Just like you, Victorious. Like I don't want to talk out of school, but
Miami.
Were they in Miami? Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. Miami's popping, huh?
I feel like in hockey, the home ice doesn't matter as much. Like they can win on the road. Like I feel like in the NBA, like home court is like serious advantage. Like you need home court, but in hockey, it's like you can kind of win on they can win away. I feel like it's a little bit different, but I don't know. I'm just looking for. I jump into it. This is when I jump into it.
Playoff hockey. This is like to say it's
honestly it's my favorite. Like of all this, I love all sports. Like there's something about playoff hockey that's just like special.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. That's
like a legit.
It's fast paced. It's
like apple pie, right?
It's the best of the best.
Like ice cream,
ice cream.
No, for sure. And especially if the Celts are handling like they're handling. So it's like, all right, I don't even because sometimes they play like at the same time, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, the Celtics
tomorrow. Like, what do you do?
Yeah,
one's at 7, one's at 7:30.
Oh,
they're
both at the same time.
Friday.
Damn.
So it's like, oh god, you got to pick your poison and go back and
forth. Good thing we live in a world where like everything you have access to is like a friggin' device, so you can like have this,
right.
and this.
You can, exactly.
Crazy.
I guess like for Bruins too, like I would say like keep an eye out on Bertuzzi. Like he might be somebody to watch. Like he had 2 assists in the first game. He scored in the second game. This is like his first, like, I think he's been in the league for a while, but it's like his first like
Definitely heard that name.
playoffs.
Yes.
And so like so far he's kind of like stepped up to the plate. So I think he's going to be like somebody to watch, like outside of like your standard.
I think he came in on a trade, right? I think he came in midway through the season. He was one of them names because when I was like, wow, Bertuzzi, because you hear all these radio guys talking all the hockey names all the time, and then Bertuzzi's kind of more recent. But hell yeah, I like it, Joe.
I think there was like an old school Bertuzzi too. So I think they might
definitely was.
Like
yo, that dude was dirty actually.
Yeah, that's
right. Yo, did he put that dude in the ice?
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Yes.
Wow, bro, had that dude
made like a dirty play back in the
day. Like a WWE style.
Love
well,
it.
you said they're coming to Lowell.
Yo, they're gonna be in the house, fam. They're coming to Manchester too.
Might have to go over there.
Yeah, they're invading, fam.
Might have to go over there and check it out. I'm just I get pumped for playoff hockey. If the Celtics are doing their thing and we can just focus on that, awesome. What about the goalies, Jill? Any intel with the goalies? I know, like, Allmark has been doing his thing. Obviously, did unbelievable, but they've been a good combo. They've been a good pair.
Yeah, I think they're like the best combo in the NHL, like without a doubt. It's like whoever you want to put in. I know that
playoff time though, right? It's like I feel like it's a different story. You just ride your horse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But it's like if something were to happen, like we have a solid backup plan.
That's not an easy. Trust me, as a goalkeeper.
I was gonna say you were goalie, Vic. Like,
this man's chopping at the bit.
Nah, bro. I'm telling you right now. I don't care if I'm playing like shit. Like I do not want to be subbed in unless I am hurt, bro. It's a pride thing, It's a pride thing.
Yeah, if you're Allmark, you're like, I'm playing every fucking game.
Nah, hell no. Get the hell. This is my number 1 spot.
Yeah, that's what you should be saying. I don't know. Any other? I mean, you got any predictions? We're tied 1-1 now.
I know. Well, now I'm nervous, but I think we'll squeak by. Like we
gotta ride that. We gotta ride that.
Like a team that's been playing at such a high caliber, set all these records, like is going to go down in the first round.
That could come back to bite him in later on against a better team.
Universe.
Sorry.
Well, that gave me a good reminder real quick. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. We've been throwing some polls out there, and we got a lot of people talking about the little gentleman sweep maybe.
I almost started busting on people for the Bruins.
For the Celtics.
Nobody.
People been out there engaging with the content out there, and one of them was just the polls about the playoffs. But I don't know. I think we're gonna beat Florida. I think Jill, just like you said, we're like a top caliber team right now. Florida just kind of squeaked into the playoffs like in the last game, I think, literally. And so it's like, we gotta show our class right now. We gotta show where we'll take him. I think at the most, I think it's 6, but see you later.
That's what I think. I think it'll be in 6. And like hopefully like that game was like a wake up call. So I'm hoping we're gonna come out like guns ablazing and being like that was not us, because there wasn't. I forget what they said. Like the statistic, there was like 5 other games that happened, but they were all away. They weren't at home or something.
They definitely haven't lost back-to-back games all year.
So
that's quite the stat. That's quite the stat.
Right?
They
a long season, and to not go back to what? That's wild.
Oh, for sure.
Wild.
Awesome. Anything else you want to drop on the Bruins? You got any nuggets? We can jump right into the Celtics. Keep it right there.
Let's get into the C's, my people.
Malcolm Brogdon just took home that 6th Man of the Year award. Come on now. Celtics are really rolling right now. They got up 2-0. Derek White shutting down Trae Young. I saw DeJounte Murray, talking that talk a little bit for the Hawks.
He's a good player. I like him. I like DeJounte Murray too. He's a Spurs. He's a former Spurs, so you already know,
But yeah, the Celtics are doing right. Jaylen Brown got his little hand thing, but we could kind of.
Hell, Jaylen Brown.
Dude, he I know you cut your hand on a vase. But then you get stitches, but then you score 29 points. Like it didn't even matter. Doesn't even matter.
I don't even understand cutting his hand on a.
Bro, this man got.
Whenever I hear those stories,
bro, he got heated.
I'm always
like,
I was gonna say,
this man got heated. He was like, "Yo,
whenever I hear
they ain't giving me the contract.
Athletes,
they ain't
giving
giving me the
contract, shower
or
whatever. Yeah,
punching shit. Yo, chill out, bro.
On a vase,
we want you here, bro. We want you here. Boston wants you, bro. Need you.
I mean. I'll tell you what. I've been to plenty of Celtics games. I know that.
That's good. All
right. Vibe is always legit, and I've had actually some really tasty seats. My man Stedman, Stedman.
Yeah.
He got us those, first class seats right there, like right on the floor. Unbelievable.
That's awesome.
So now the Celtics is always a good time too. What's the scoop, Victorious? You've been watching the games. You've been watching the games. What? I mean, I'm like I said, I'm looking to the next series almost.
Yeah, I saw the first game. I saw the like you said, just kind of looking to the future. I saw the first game where they kind of just smashed in the first half, and weird that second half. I think they smashed them so bad in the first half, it didn't really matter in the second half, but still was kind of like but it didn't matter. It wasn't one of those where like they lost.
Yeah, it was just like maintain. Yeah, just really like maintain.
Yeah.
Well, that was like the thing, right? So it was like a record first half. They had 74 points. They tied like a Celtics franchise record for the most points in like a playoff half or whatever, winning by 30. Like, you know what I mean? But then like the second half, they just like didn't. I don't want to say didn't try, but like basically that's what happened. And then like they got the gap like down to 12.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, like you don't want to snooze on the Hawks because like we have to beat them to get to the next level. And they should really be thinking about like using these games to get ready for like the 76ers, the Bucks, moving forward. So it's just like,
what's up with Giannis? You guys heard about, his back? Is he hurt? He's hurt right now.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I don't know. Again, it's.
I saw your boy like Hauser was in the mix. I saw him playing, getting some burn. Just seeing like, it's just some scuttlebutt about JT getting all, first team All NBA, JB maybe scooping up the third team All NBA. So just some of that scuttlebutt I seen out on the Twitterverse. But other than that, man, just Celtics just like on a wave right now.
They're so deep,
all year they've been solid. Milwaukee, that's the first I heard of that Giannis talk. You haven't heard that, Jill?
No, I haven't.
I haven't heard that either, but I don't want to say I got my little Grinch smile.
I know. It's like, don't even jinx it.
Nah, I'm just saying. I think he's in 7-Eleven. He's like, my back.
That's got real greedy when he said that. Yeah, the Celtics, just like I said, they're just good times right now. I'd love to see if all those postseason awards came out, or those those the regular.
Oh, they're coming out now since they're rolling out with Malcolm.
I gotta assume Jason Tatum first team.
There's no way he's not.
Yeah,
Malcolm, unbelievable. Some people are saying this guy quickly from New York should have got it. I saw some, Manuel Quickly. I don't know if you guys saw any of that, but
I know. I know him, but come on, get out of here with
that. You guys, any other thoughts? Like, you as we look forward, we don't want to look too far ahead from the Hawks, but we got Philadelphia maybe on the horizon. Joel Embiid doing his thing. I don't know if you want to talk about your boy Draymond out there doing the stomp.
I know that was
bonus. So
let's talk about this. I don't know if you guys. I don't know if you guys ever
played in. I don't know if you've.
Oh no, I saw. I watched you see like in slow mo.
You guys ever played?
I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't know. He might have a point. Like
you guys ever play in a game where there's been any craziness like that? Personally, like I know I haven't. But like I just like Draymond. Like this guy's always in the mix, ain't he?
He's guilty just by association. Unfortunately,
I was gonna say he's got a reputation. This man.
Like I just joked a little bit. Like maybe he was right, but it's like nah, bro. You've done too much. Too many times, like too much extra.
This wasn't an isolated incident. This is like a pattern.
And like, not to mention, like people, I don't want to say people kind of sick of Golden State, and like Kings are kind of like on a good little come up right now, like a good story. But like,
coach of the year,
Golden State, stop. Yeah. Golden State, stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? You guys have had like so much. I don't want to say given to you, but like, come on,
get the hell out of here.
You've done enough already, Golden State. Draymond, you've done enough. Was that? I saw like I don't know. A couple
Klay Thompson, angles. Go look at the ocean, bro.
Couple different angles on that, Jill. Did you see it? I don't that would like Draymond. How dirty?
The whole thing was crazy. Like in fairness, like the guy like grabbed
he did grab
his leg in. So
he grabbed the hell out of his leg. I mean, Draymond's like, yo, I don't know what else to do. Like
it was that, or it was just like going straight down. Like I don't know.
He may have a point, but
a combo, like like the
when you're an asshole, you're an asshole, and now he's just getting. I just pays for it.
I've seen. Yeah, I was gonna say I saw a clip of him. It was like a big reel of like all his stuff that he's just kicked Steven Adams in the sack twice.
Bro.
Obviously he punched out his teammate. Poole
cold clocked them.
So it's like come on, this guy's he's got such a bad reputation. Does Joel Embiid? I think he's a front runner for the MVP. Does he scare you guys? Philadelphia at all? Does Giannis scare you guys? I mean. If those guys are hurt, just like Middleton was last year,
we'll take it.
Joel's been playing like rock solid.
He's on a mission, bro. He's scoring 52, and he dropped 52 on the Celtics not all that long ago. So he's one of those guys where, we have Philly's numbers, so you just gotta watch. These guys are just sniffing out. They're in the gym. He's training. He's just ready for Boston. So, but Boston's I touched on it just a second ago, but like they're so deep, fam. They're so deep. They have. You
And
just
you
look
know
at
what,
all the guard play. Like,
well, I was
I
gonna
don't
say,
know,
like James Harden. I like James Harden on Philadelphia. I think he's solid, but like he's a pretender too.
bro.
He's
He'll
a
get locked
pretender.
down. He'll get locked
He
down.
don't. He's not. You know, he's not that guy, pal. He's not him.
We have our secret weapon of Al Horford, playoff Al.
I love Al
Playoff
Horford.
Al.
Platano
Playoff
power.
Al. Like
Let's go.
I
The
just love him.
Platano power for sure.
Let's go.
Dominicano.
DR in the house.
Yeah.
Let's go. I love Big Al, and I just saw that he set like the most playoff threes for like a big man. He's got like over
Love it.
100 playoff threes for like the most ever. Unbelievable. He just like turned his career around. Like had like a second half renaissance since he's come to the Celtics.
When he came
love
back,
it.
I
Well,
think a
this
lot
is
of
it.
people were like,
Well,
yeah,
he went
yeah.
to Philly, you know, kind
Yeah.
of fell off a little bit, right?
Actually,
Who
went
knows
back
what
to
happened.
Atlanta, then went to Philly. Something weird. He was like all over.
Yeah, he
the
went to
place.
Philly, then went to like OKC, got like traded out there.
right,
Some weirdness.
Yep.
But nah, I think the Celtics just good vibes. I'm not really scared of anyone.
Nobody,
in the East.
fam.
We got a shot. We definitely have a
I'm
shot.
not really scared of anyone in the East, so I'm looking forward to it.
Who are you scared of in the West? Who are you scared of in the West?
That's a great question.
I know. I'm not too sure. I can only follow so many
West
things.
is weird. It's wild. I'll tell you that much. Not to make that.
Well, I
pun,
don't like. I'm not for nothing. Like Denver doesn't scare me. Memphis is getting beat up by the Lakers right now. Yeah, I don't. I'm not too worried about what's going on in the West. Nope.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. Scared of nobody. I'm
I'm
really not scared of anybody.
Yeah.
We got home playoff. We got home playoff throughout everybody. So it's like, just with the exception of Milwaukee.
Just except for the Bucks, we don't have it on them.
Right.
Awesome. Yeah, I like that. It looked like some consensus here. I think we're all saying we're gonna. Do you think we sweep the Hawks? Do you think they get one?
I think the Hawks are gonna come full force, like full throttle.
They must, right?
Game 3.
Do or die.
Like it's that, you know what I mean? If they can't win game 3, then like forget it. It's the sweep. But I think the Celtics are gonna be ready for that, and I think they sweep them.
I like think they come out with the sweep too, Jill. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. I think Atlanta comes out hot for like that first half, and then Celtics just like
we're on with the storm a little bit.
Not hot enough.
Right. Exactly.
Sorry.
Awesome. Let's do this. Let's roll right into. I know, like one of the last things we wanted to hit was the Women's World Cup. Unbelievable, coming up this year. I had to do a little digging. Do my homework.
Let's go.
Well, I figured it's like, soccer podcast. Like, I got to talk about something. And I figured you guys didn't know too much about it.
We usually talk about the Revs. We always talk about, a bunch of whatever. In Europe, we follow teams over there. Glory, Man United. Frankfurt's in there, PSG. But Women's World Cup, let's go 1 through 32. So I was like a full month tournament out there in New Zealand and Australia. So down in, Aussie. Have you ever been over there, Jill?
No, that's on the list.
I'd love to get to Australia too. I'd love to get to New Zealand for sure. What can we uncover? So
for people that are listening, I want to send a big plug, and maybe even to you guys, and hopefully get you inspired to want to watch the World Cup, because the women's national team are just so incredible. Right. So there's only ever been 8 World Cups. They've won 4 of the 8, and they've medaled in the other 4. We've never gotten less than 3rd place in any World Cup. That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
Right. And
World tournament. Yeah.
All of it. There was a long period of time we didn't lose anything. It was nuts. But for this World Cup, so we're going for a 3-peat. We've won the last 2 World Cups, so there's a potential for a 3-peat, which is really exciting. And we're definitely a contender for that. We have a lot of changes in the lineup. So there's only going to be a few names that people might recognize. Alex Morgan, Megan Raponi will also be returning, but likely not starting because she's getting old. So she'll probably just sub in. But we're a contender. The thing is that European leagues have gotten a lot better. So England's in the cut.
Certainly have.
Yeah. So England's in the cut for sure, to kind of deal with it. But this World Cup particularly, so 32 teams, there's 8 teams that have never been before, which is kind of cool. So that's exciting. So 25% of the teams have never gone. It's the same as the men. So you do the group play, and then the top 2 of the group go on to the next round. So we're in Group E. And we have Vietnam, the Netherlands, and Portugal. and both Portugal and Vietnam are two teams that have never been.
Nice.
Isn't I think the USA played Netherlands in the finals.
Yep, exactly. So that's going to be a rematch of the finals game of the last World Cup that we had. So it's like a cool little sneak preview.
100%. That's a
but that's the thing. Like both, right? But both teams have had so much like turnover that like, like specifically the Netherlands, like they used to be like third in FIFA, now they're like eighth. Okay. So like they've kind of lost their rankings a little bit, but it's still just like, the rematch, like, okay, like who's still got it?
For sure.
So that will be exciting when that goes down. Let's see what else, but like we're looking strong. Like overall, we have some couple like rising stars, outside from the people that we already know, like Alex Morgan, amazing. But for new people, there's Sophia Smith. She's a forward. She's only 22. She plays for Portland, and she's just like ruthless. And so
I love it. She's playing here in the States. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, a lot of these chicks out playing in the the European leagues.
League. Yep. So she's playing here in the US. And so like kind of like the women's soccer world is like waiting to see like what she'll do on like an international stage. And they're, they think that she's gonna like step up to the plate and really, put on a show. So she's gonna be someone to kind of watch.
Someone look out for. Sophia Smith.
Sophia Smith, yeah.
Let's go. Get them goals.
I like that. Someone to look out for.
And then Trinity Rodman is a forward who's also
she's a forward too?
Yeah.
She is.
Let's go. Yep. A lot of forwards. And then we have a different Sophia. That's a defender that's supposed to be like really good as well. So some good talent.
Fam, you said what? That Rodman gets the bag?
Yeah, I saw she gets paid.
Okay.
She's one of the highest paid players in the league.
Sick. Oh, nice. Yeah, so there's like drama, of course, like with any kind of World Cup. So Canada is in a fight with their federation for equal pay, right? That was a big deal for the women's team. They settled, and people are like, oh, they shouldn't make enough money, but they had a valid argument. They had better ratings, they won more, and they brought in more money. And so that's then the national team. So that's why. So now if like people don't know, they pool. So when the men win, the women get paid, and when the women win, the men get paid. They share their earnings.
Unbelievable.
Good.
For the US national team. So Canada's trying to like fight for that too. So they're like mad. And then France, I think it's France, fired their coach because the players were like, we don't like you, get out.
Oh, I saw that.
So finally they got him out. And their new coach is the coach that had that coach Saudi Arabia when they beat oh my God.
Argentina.
Argentina, thank you. Oh my God.
Oh, he's going there?
Yeah, so that coach is now the France's national team's coach.
Yes, that was a big win, obviously, right? That's like kicked off the World Cup.
Oh, it's huge.
Right, and then what did they say? Like everybody got like a Lamborghini or something?
For sure, yeah.
Something like that. I don't know. That could have been not true.
They got something. I can tell you.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just like, a couple little snippets, but like the women's team, like we are the GOATs. Like you should be excited about it. People should watch.
Good. I love like setting expectations. Like, yeah, we should dominate. But you know what I also love too is like the world is catching up a little bit because it just makes everyone kind of that talent level, everybody increase and makes that bread increase. Like people get paid, more eyes on it. Like it's just, a little snowball effect. I love that stuff. Yeah. I've read sometimes about like the Champions League, the Women's Champions League. They have that going on in Europe too. Like Chelsea has teams, Barcelona, like they have like legit teams.
Yeah.
And it's like something honestly, like I gotta get more up to school on.
Yeah, I think it's it's not anyone's fault for like not knowing about it. It's so new. I think it's come so rapid, so strong, so quick. And I think it just goes to exemplify like the women's game and just how incredible it's expanded. I mean, you look, I don't know. It's exciting, honestly, talking about it. Like Joe, if you have a daughter, that's exciting. Like,
I know when you just said that there's been 8, I'm like, wow, that's unbelievable. And we won 4. So it just gives you even like, it's only been 8, right? So that's what are you talking? 32 years?
Yeah. 91 was the first one and we won it. It was in China.
Yep. So it's like,
and then we won in 99.
We've seen the whole thing.
That was like that famous picture.
Yeah, Brandi Chastain.
Yep. Unbelievable. That's a cool history. Something to look forward to. A couple good players. What else? Anything else for the Women's World Cup? You got the prediction, Jill?
I was about to say, Joe. Like,
come on,
what
let the people know.
If not USA, then who? You know.
I was gonna say, I don't know. If it's not USA, then it might be England. I think Germany is gonna also be in the mix. But I gotta go number one here.
Any dark horses? Any like underdog stories? Have you seen like I love to hear like that those teams that have just getting in, like those first time teams. I love to.
I was gonna say I would love to see like a first time team just like get out of
make a top two
first, get a top two somehow. Ireland is like one of the teams, and the women's nationals just had like two friendly matches with them, but we beat them twice, like 1-0, I think. So it's going to be hard to say. I think experience definitely has something to do with it. So
I wonder what the goalkeeping situation's like. I don't know who's leading the back, but I mean, 3 months away. Who knows? Roster changes could happen. Things could happen, as we know. But yeah, exciting. We'll definitely be reporting on
literally.
it.
Literally 3 months
I'll
away,
give you guys notes. I'll be like, oh my gosh.
Hell yeah.
August, it's 4/20, and we're starting on August 20th, right?
July.
Yeah, 90 days.
July?
Yep. It's July to August.
6, July to August. My bad. Yep. So it's 7 to 8, 7:20 to 8:20. Wow.
Yeah, so that's like right around the corner. That's going to be here before we know it.
Yeah, for sure.
All the games are going to be on super late though, because it's like the time difference. So I think our game, well, not too bad. 2 of them are at 9 p.m. and then one's at like 3 in the morning. So I don't think they're watching that one.
Yeah, 3 a.m. might be tough.
Might catch the highlights on that one.
I was going to say, we'll catch the highlights.
What else we got cooking, Jill? Before, like I said, before we even like any further, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Always throw that in. Make sure you stay tuned in with us, tapped in. We're always throwing content out. We got the shorts out there on YouTube. Those are booming right now, so make sure you check that out. But Jill, we talked about some of the sports stuff that you did at Riv, and you've obviously, you've gone through. And you've had, I'm sure, like some mentors in like your educating world. Since you're an educator, I'm sure you've had some people help you out along the way. One thing we always try to throw out there is like just a shout out to somebody, or a coach, a person, a parent, a family, anybody that you like to throw a little love out there to. Completely switching gears, right?
You like threw me off on that. Yeah, absolutely.
Completely switching gears.
Yeah.
Let's get into some of that.
Yeah, so I want to first of all, I don't know if you know this. So the Riviera softball coach, when I was there, unexpectedly passed away, Kelly O'Connell. So I guess we'll give her a shout out, R.I.P.
Sure. Wow. That sounds super unfortunate.
Yeah. Wow. So actually, I played in the alumni game like last fall. Like all of us that kind of were in her era went and played, and it was like really fun just to kind of like reminisce.
That's awesome.
About, spring trainings and Disney and just like the intensity of our practices. But hey, like we won a championship. We got to go to NCAAs. So that winning culture was really good. So we'll give her a shout out. But I don't know, it's tough. Like in your life, you have different mentors for different things. And, it's hard to like pinpoint on one to say like, oh, thank you. But obviously like friends and family, right, are so supportive.
No, I think for sure it takes a village, first of all, but just what you just said about your coach from Riv, we've had some, some soccer, some ex-soccer players or some former Riv soccer players that have passed away too. Chris Picos, and Broom was the other one, but yeah, that's like, wow. Condolences, man. That's not super unfortunate. I hate to hear that. Glad to hear that everyone got together though, and kind of, I guess, celebrated, right? That's good to hear, Jill.
Yeah, it was fun. We had a blast like playing, and like the way they set up the teams, it was like, all right, like if you played for Kelly, like you're on this team, and if you're like you're on that team. We lost. It was like,
did you guys get to Peds afterwards?
No, we didn't, because it was like a Sunday like afternoon. Like it was a weird time. It was weird. Yeah, it was like Sunday at like 11 a.m. It's like, this is weird.
Yeah, I just bring that up, right? Because alumni's coming up this weekend. We talked a little bit before we went hot. That's always a place to go. Let's get into just some life stuff. We're going to talk about, I don't know, anything that grinds your gears, Jill. This is where we do the OT stuff. OT
God, the show. You know what really grinds my gears? Let me start my list.
any life stories
commuting horror stories.
Oh
Like,
my God.
I went to the zoo today. Like I could go in on the zoo and like I'm like, wow, the zoo. Like I had like a,
see what I got.
I was there with my kids today on a vacation day. And it's like, I don't know, I didn't want to ruin the party, but like the zoo's not it, man. I wasn't feeling the zoo.
Which zoo did you go to?
I went to Stone Zoo here in Stoneham, not too far.
Okay.
Like it's like a neighborhood zoo too. It's like not, but it's like,
bro,
they got a cougar in there.
I was gonna say, what's like the most elite animal that's in there?
They have cougars in. They had a cougar in there. They got a jaguar in there, but it's like they're like enclosed and like like these things need to travel miles. Like these
They
things
just
like,
look so sad.
yeah, I'm just like, bro, this is not. I'm seeing birds like in cages. I'm like, bro, I'm sure this bird wants to fly.
Oh, we saw a few owls.
Flap its wings a little bit, So it was like I said, I didn't want to be a turd in the punch bowl today. So I was just kind of rolling.
With the wet blanket when your kids are having a blast.
I was just rolling with the punches,
Yeah,
I was just kind of going with the flow a little bit. But man, I was telling Kristen, I was like, man, this is. And I already signed up to chaperone my son's field trip. They're going to the Franklin Park Zoo coming up in May. And I threw my name in the hat, like, before we even thought about the Stone Zoo. So I already got that on deck, and I've been thinking about it. Like, man, I might be like freeing all the animals when I leave.
A true inventory.
That's what I got going on in my life, So Jill, I don't know, Victorious, please, like, help me out here, It's like I don't know what you guys get. Any commuter stories on the Orange Line, Jill? Like, I was on the Orange Line for a long time. Like, man, the Orange Line gets gully.
It gets super gully. I just
gets a little grimy
to myself.
So it's every man for himself. You got to be,
you got to keep to yourself and be alert. You got to keep to yourself, but be alert. It's like you got to stand up and sit down.
Yes,
yeah. I don't listen. I don't have my headphones on when I'm on the TV.
I usually have them on, but not listening to anything.
That's another one too.
I usually have them on, but off.
Right, yeah, like pretend you're like, they don't really know, but I'm actually just listening.
I'm on to you. I'm on to you, buddy. I'm on to you,
but I know that you know.
I know exactly what the fuck's going on here.
I know that you know that I know that you know. Fill us in, Victorious. What's going on?
Yo, fam, I gotta share a story, man. So like in your shower, you might have like, you put your shampoo, your soap, whatever. It's like the corner thing where like everything is there. So we were installing one of them, and it was like, oh man, like we barely just got it to like stick in. And she says to me like, oh, it's gonna fall overnight. I'm like, whatever, just keep it, Fast forward, sleeping. You already know where this is going. Bro, so loud. 3 a.m., fam. This thing just boom, boom. She doesn't even react. She already knows. I jump up, guys. I jump up immediately. And the first place I run to my son's room. Because I'm like, they're going to take him. They're going to take him. Like, that's where my mind was going. And Kendra's like, where are you? I'm like, I'm in the room. I'm in the room. I'm looking at Lucas. She's like, I told you, like, it was the shower thing. And that's it, just reactionary stuff. But fam, guys, it made my heart jump.
Yeah, you were like an autopilot. Like, you
fam, I was
right there. You're not even thinking right
there. That's good. That's a reaction you want to have.
That's what I told her. I was like, babe, you should be happy that I did that. Like,
but your wife, I get it. She's like,
they're not taking my son.
I'm not gonna say I told you so, but
they're not taking my son. They're not taking my son. Like,
Kendra's like, let him have him.
Yeah. I had to share that.
That's a good one,
much,
man. Install that. Be better, fam. Come on.
I agree.
Come on.
I'm not
she tried to tell you too. Come on.
She did for sure, for 100%. Yeah, man. I got to get better with that. 2023. Working on it.
I like that. Jill, what's cooking? We're gonna hand the baton to you. What's cooking? I was gonna say, what's cooking? We always talk about meals that we've had, delicious food that we've eaten. I mean, it's all, we can throw it all on the table right now. What's really good?
I know.
We'll hand the OT ball off to you.
The OT ball off to me. I don't know. Well, this is the thing. So Beverly has like exploded. And we have like all of a sudden like these amazing restaurants from like all these like Boston chefs that are like, I'm also the city. And so it's like the gentrification is like in full swing over here. So
you didn't sound too happy about that. I mean,
no, I love it. It's like nice because I can walk everywhere. So they just opened up this gorgeous place, Mission Boathouse, like right literally across the street from me. It's like right on the water on the marina. And it's like, this can be like one of my pet peeves, right? So it used to be a McDonald's, like way back in the day, even before I lived here. That left, became like the harbor master office, looked like a dump. It was gross. Some company bought it, but the contingency of it was like it had to be used for public space. So they just like tried to like wait out however long like the contract was, and we're like, okay, like forget that. They built a 300-seat restaurant with 50 parking spaces, and it has to be used for public access. So if people want to like put in their kayaks, if people want to just sit there and go fishing, if people just want to like walk the harbor, and then also, and it's a fishing port. So like fishermen's, lobstermen people are like there. So like they need to be able to park to be able to like go on their boats and like go earn money.
It's like a boat launch. It's like,
it's like, did you not
taking up like 3
through?
spots?
Like, did you not think this through? So it's like, so now people are like, I live on like a one-way street, like super quiet, like very like low key. It's like no one really knows, like they know about it, but like not really. But now people are starting to like creep up the one way. And I'm just like, I swear to God, like all these, like I feel like a cranky old lady, like these people parking in front of my house to go to the restaurant, like makes no sense. But it's just like,
No, these are the things, Joe, that really like hit us, in life, like things that again, we would be the one. We were the ones parking in the past,
I just got fired.
Exactly, like we were the ones doing it. Now I'm like,
yep.
Get out of my neighborhood.
For Victoria, so true. I never even think about it like that. That used to be us like looking for a parking spot, like roaming around.
1,000%.
Now I'm like, yo, I can't believe they're coming up my street.
Get the hell out of my street, man.
How the tables have turned.
That's real life, Joe. That's what we talk about, man. Unbelievable, man. Yo, episode 82, man. Thank you everyone for hanging with us. We got Jill in the house, man. Special guest. What else can we talk about before we, bounce from the people? Any other stories? Jill, I don't know if you got any other nuggets that you want to drop on the people, but man, it's been awesome having you.
Has been.
It's just been a good time. We've just been chopping it up over here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And just whoever's listening, like you said, like, share, subscribe. You guys are great. It's been so fun catching up. And like, let's not go this long again without, talking.
Yeah, let's keep it regular for sure. We always, for sure, the guests, we always try to get back on to try to catch up, try to, see what's, come full circle, round number 2. We've had Cartino on a couple times. It's awesome. It's awesome. We like to keep it local. We like to always have Riv Cats on too.
Yeah.
Come on. It's the Revolution Pod.
Bringing it all together, and if you're on the show, it's because we like you.
Oh, thanks. Made the cut.
Let's go. We're going to keep we're going to keep it positive, keep it moving. Again, thank you, Jill. Thank you, Victorious, as always. Riv Pod in the house, man.
Thank you.
April 20th, 2023. It's 10:30 just about. So we're signing off.
420, bro.
Unbelievable. Yo, we'll catch you next time. For Jill, for Victorious, your boy Javier. Riv Pod in the house. Peace. Awesome.